It means it has a 12-layer color. 12 layer. Which color is the real boundary of the tooth? Which color is the real boundary of the tooth? Do you know? I don't know. Nobody knows. It means, basically, CBCT is a fake illusion. Nobody knows the real boundary of the tooth. Almost most CT has a 300 micrometer tolerance. It means, even though we're matching the STL file into the CBCT, there always exists 300 micrometer tolerance. That's why, because technically, most engineers say CBCT original characteristic is the illusion or fake. It's very important. And second thing is this. As I mentioned before, our system's basic principle is matching the STL file and the dipole files. So basically, scan file, if your impression is good and if your Stonecast is good, after that, using the scanner, if you scan your Stonecast, the digital image tolerance is under 60 micrometers. It means it is almost the same as the real object, right? So STL file is believed. And now let's think about this. If CBCT is correct, when we matching the STL file and CBCT, there is no differentiations, right? Right. So look at this. This is the full mouse case. When we applied the ArtGate in the full mouse case, we use a very special thread. So look at this. This white object is the fully dangerous out thread. And I scanned the inside and outside of the thread and matching the total. So if CBCT is accurate and STL file is accurate, after merging, it shows this perfect matching conditions. But how do you think about this? Can you see this? Here is almost same as the STL and CBCT, right? But how do you think about this condition? We can find some mismatches. What is wrong? What is wrong? Maybe both of one is wrong. What is wrong? In my opinion, CBCT is wrong. So, at this moment, I'm matching this STL file move into here and matching again. Can you see this? This is almost matching STL file and CBCT. How about the opposite side? There is mismatching. It means CBCT has not volume stabilities. You have to remember, even though we use the high technology CBCT machines, there always exists some distortion, image distortions. That's why, because when we're using the Nobel Biocare, Nobel systems, some clinicians say, I placed the implant very well, but it is a little bit different than virtual planning stage and final stage. Because every CT has some volumetric distortions. So we made this kind of functions. We can control the image size. And after I control the CBCT image size, it looks like good matching conditions. But I cannot tell this some correction of the image is the right way or wrong way. But anyway, using the control of the image size, we can matching the STL and CBCTs perfectly. So it means we have to study, we have to examine about the CBCT images. So CBCT has some limitations. You have to remember. So originally CBCT is a fake illusion, and CBCT, the volumetry is not stable. It's a very important thing. Anyway, after taking an impression and CBCT, send these two data to the center, to the Jessie. After that, the center merge STR and the dicom, and they drawing a provisional restoration or final restoration image, diagnostic exams, and they place implant like this. After that, they send this data to you. And as a dentist, our job is very simple, collecting the implant position based upon your concepts. You don't have to spend time to merge or making the diagnostic exams. Our job is making the implant position. It takes only 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, and then confirm. After that, we're starting another story. This young patient broke the central tooth. Actually, in Korea, at Saturday morning, there are a lot of trauma in young people because in Friday night they drink and dancing so much. Almost the same as the Hong Kong.
Oh.
No. When I visited the Soho, there are a lot of clubs. So anyway, we make this kind of result in 1 week later. So unfortunately, this tooth is totally broken. So one day, immediately root canal therapy and build up the resin for aesthetic reasons. And then take an impression and send data 1 week later before starting the surgery. And I received this kind of the data from center, and I collecting the implant position based upon my clinical concepts. Normally, I place the 4 or 5 millimeter below the buccal provisional restorations margins. So this is my clinical concepts. And I can see there's some gaps, but this patient has a thick bone and thick gingiva. Gingival height is good. So after placing the implant, I put in some bone particle in the gaps. This is my strategy. And as you can see these pictures, and based upon this 5 diagnostic key, it says if I place implant in the right position, we will make a favorable result. So based upon this data, we can make the stent. It's a kind of the code, digital code. And I order the stent to our center, so they draw using the CAD program, they draw this kind of the stent. And how about the possibility of the immediate loadings or immediate provisional restoration? We have to checking the bone density, right? So change color, how about this? This bone quality is very nice. So I also ordered the provisional restoration. So using a CAD program, they draw provisional restoration and build out like this. So before surgery stage, I prepared the stent, not only stent, but also provisional restoration. Nowadays, we're using these 2 great technology. One is the milling machines, the other is the 3D printing. So using a 3D printing, we print out the stent. Its accuracy is under 100 micrometers. And this is also nice. So we can make some zirconia or PMMA crowns. But actually, last symposium, I have to talk about this, but I have no time. This is the most common complication when you're using the guide surgery. This is my message. It's very important. Many people say guide surgery is so simple and easy, but you have to keep the rules. So one of my young colleague, place the implant using a stent like this. When you see the implant axis using the panorama view, it's pretty good one. But he asked to me, there is some strange thing happening, so please explain with the reasons. So he placed the two implants, but side condition is totally different. So this is the central incisor, is a heel ridge, and this canine area is the extraction site. Can you see that this buccal plane? See, here is the buccal bone. So he make the virtual planning like this, and then using a guide, he placed the two implants. And this is the after surgery. What happened?
Fenestration.
Yeah, totally axis is different compared to the virtual planning stage. What happened? Actually, nowadays, in over 300 dentists using our systems, and over 90% complication and complaint is this kind of situations. Okay, this is the healed side. So almost the same as the virtual planning stage, right? But this is the extraction socket side, totally different.
I may give an explanation. I have experience of that as well.
Yeah.
Now, it is related to your implant design because you have very sharp thread.
Right.
Because when there's a palatal side is very hard bone and buccal side very thin bone or no bone,
Yes.
they don't cut into the palatal side.
Perfect.
And therefore the whole implant getting displaced
Yes.
labially.
Right.
So you have to do, in a way, some adjustment onto the palatal side to make sure, similar to the Straumann concept, in a way that at the occlusal area you have to do overjoining. Right?
Perfect. Perfect. So many people think like this. Yes, as Professor mentioned before, after preparation the bone, in healed ridge side, especially the buccal and the lingual bone is very hard. In this time, after preparation, when you put in an implant, there is no mismatching in virtual and real status. But in this kind of the severe resorption case or extraction socket case, can you see this? This palatal bone hardness is very hard, right? But when extraction socket side, many clinicians think like this. After preparing the small size of the bone in the apex only, after that, using a guide, and it has a very high ability of the self-tappings, and if I place the implant, it will place like this. It's illusion. It's a misunderstanding. The real situation is this: the hard palatal bone push out the implant and slip like this. It's very important. So, my suggestion is this. When we place the implant in a severe resorption site or extraction socket site, we have to choose, first loop is a long implant. So, using a long implant, we have to obtain a stability here. Understand me? Yes. After that, look at this. Even though we prepare the small diameter and long drills, there is remaining the hard bone resistance. So we have to cut up this bone. So using a wide drill and short drill, it's a kind of a step back. We have to cut up this resistance. And then, using an implant, we always use the taper implant. So apex is very narrow. So using an implant narrow, like an endodontic treatment, we pound the preparation orifice. After that, placing the implant very carefully. So not only in an extraction socket, but also in a heeled rigid, oblique heeled rigid, we have to keep these three rules. It's very, very important. So look at this. In this case, this is extremely hard. So if I place implant very well, I obtain a nice initial stability. But drilling is very important. So after extracting the tooth, we can map these kinds of the oblique sloped ridges. So when we place the stand, the guide hole place this here. And when you're using the initial drill, there is no bone touch. So skip this drill. Second drill, there is no bone touch. So skip. So we have to find the first drill as this condition. So most important thing is drill tip is touching the bone and drill guide part have to engage into the guide, right? So this amount of the drill is engaged in the guide. And I have some space for the drilling. So using the 2.0 drill first. So using this, I can escape the drill sleeve. And then gradually increase 2.0 by 8. Drill again. After that, drill again. So using the 2.0 diameter drill and gradually increasing the drill depth is very, very important. After that, increasing the drill diameter. So even though I'm making this kinds of the preparation, this part of the hard bone will push buckling to the implant. So to the short, using the short drill, you have to cut up this part. So if you did not cut up this part, when you place the implant, it is very well inside. And after put out the stent, the implant is rebound to the buckle. It's very important thing, critical. If you keep these rules, you can eliminate over 90% complications. How about the heel ridge? This is the heel ridge, but it's very sloped, oblique ridge. In this case, you have to follow these rules. Initial drill, second drill, and 2.7. Using this kind of the drill sequence, you make some nice indentation. So please, follow this drill sequence. It is today's most important message is this. So yes, actually this is very simple, but you have these rules. So when you use our system drill, we don't use the metal links. We don't use the metal link. Our drill system has a guided part and a cutting part. So pick up the drill and just drilling. So when you're starting the drilling, this situation is not good. Always this guiding part. Always this guiding part have inside of the guide. And then starting the drill. It's very, very important. And gradually increasing the drill length using the 2.0. And then increasing the drill diameter. So, based upon this concept, I started the surgery. In a very hard bone case, so cut out the resin mock-ups first. And extract your tooth very carefully. And extracted the residual wood rest. And put in a stand. When you put in a stand, if your impression is very perfect, there is no time needed. And you can see this kind of the hole. And using these holes, you can checking the adaptation of the stand. And starting the drill, there is no bone contact. So using the 2.0, always checking the drill is perfectly sitting the stopper. 2.0 by 10, 11.5, 13. This is the final depth. After that, increasing the drill diameter. Can you see the holes? But in second stage, you have to cut off these very dense outer holes. So shortening the drill and increasing the drill diameter again. 3.3 by 7, 3.8 by 4. It means make the taper preparation. And we got the 4.0 fixture and put in and control the position. Checking the tool over 70 newtons. Checking the ISQ 74, 73. It means hard bone, high ISQ, high insertion torque value. We can connecting the provisional restoration. So put in a cover screw first, and then put in a bone into the gap, and cover screw valve and push in a provisional restoration. It's a flow, and control the opposite ports. Surgery is finished. And how about the provisional restorations position? It is acceptable in clinic, right? This is 1 month, 1 week later. It's almost done. How about the surgical result? This blue area is the diagnostic image, virtual planning image. And this white pad is the real situation after surgery stage. So I merged the two STLs and checking the accuracy. Can you see this? Even though I prepared the palatal bone, implant is a little bit tilted buccal, right? How about 2 degrees? But it is acceptable and clean. How about the vertical position? It's very small amount is the change. Anyway, articles say average radiation is the around the 2 degrees. So it is the inside of the tolerance. This is one of the worst case. It means it is the soft bone, not healed regions. So if you keep the rules, the surgical result is the inside of the tolerance. So nowadays I prepare the final restoration. Actually, when I visited some foreign countries, this patient visited and put in a final restoration, but my colleague did not take pictures. Anyway, I pour again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you go back 1 slide?
Yeah.
Is the one slide on the right side that has got the implant with the, you know, with how I say, with the temporary crown?
Yeah.
Do you normally tend to bond it to the adjacent teeth with
No.
composite?
No.
Is there bonding somewhere?
Yeah, at this moment, this is the extract and place, the immediate place case.
Yes.
So I cut up the, when you see the video, I
Yeah.
cut up the proximal point.
Yes.
At the time, I cut up a little bit larger. So after placing the provisional restoration, I found some diastema.
Oh, so there is to close the diastema.
Yeah.
You are not recommending
Yeah, yeah.
bonding with the adjacent
Yeah.
teeth for better
Right.
stability.
Yeah, right, right. Because I obtained over 70 newtons, so there is no reason to
That's okay.
spring it. But
Yeah, I was
that's for
wondering.
the aesthetic reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the worst case. How about this? How about this patient condition? This is very loose bone, right? Soft bone, right? So using a virtual planning, I make this kind of strategy. I have to engage the cortical bone. It is more initial stability. So using an out gate, I choose the optimum diameter, and that was a 4.5. So even though inside of the bone is the loose, if I engage the cortical bone, I get a more initial stability, right? It is more reasonable strategy. So using a virtual programs, we can find the optimum size or length of the implant. So in this loose bone case, the deep thread is more effective. So nowadays, Manhattan company made the Any1 deep thread. It's almost the same as the Any-Reach deep thread. The differentiation is two things. One is the connection degrees. Any-Reach is the 5-degree connection, and one is the 11 degrees. And the other differentiation is Any-Reach have no first thread, but Any1 has the first thread. So it is quite a little bit different. So it is up to the site condition. So in this case, I use the Any1 deep thread. So the best merit of the deep thread is this. The core is narrower than normal implant. So we can prepare a small amount of the bone. When you're using the normal thread, this core pushes the bone and compression. But when we're using the deep thread, even though we make the small drilling, the deep thread engages the bone very easily. There is no compression. So nowadays, we can make the almost final conclusion with one of the Netherlands, Holland University. So this is the main reason why when we use the deep thread implant, there is no decrease in ISQ values. It's more good for the bone. And when we apply the deep thread design, we can increase the bone to implant contact ratio also. So starting the surgery. So these conditions. Put in a stand. It takes no time, so you have to make the very nice impressions. And initial drill, and second drill, field reach case, and 2.0 by 7 is a mandatory, essential. After that, drilling is very easy. I jump to the 11, and increasing the drill diameter, 2.5, and 2.8. This is the final depth. And decreasing the length, 3.4, and 3.8 by 4. After that, cut up the coronal bone again using the second drill. It is the act as a bone profiler. After that, we got the 4.5 by 10, deep thread, Any1, and put in an implant. And checking the book, 45. And off the plan, because this patient's osteostress is too high. So when I'm making the final restoration, the clinical crownless is too short. So I make some crown waxing procedures. After that, I connecting instead of the provisional restoration, this is the customized healing optimal. Actually, we don't know about the immediate loading protocol for the Any1 fixture. So without the immediate loadings, I connecting the provisional, customize the temporary healing optimal. After that, making the final restorations. So nowadays, our group making the number or score about what is the optimum insertion torque value and the ISQ value for the Any1 for immediate loadings. So we made some temporary numbers, And nowadays we try again about the performance. So when I put in any one deep straight, ITV was 45, and when I checking the final restoration, the ISQ value was 82. It's good. It's good. So when we're using the Anybridge implant, this is our loading protocols. For single implant, you have to obtain a 45 ITV values. And the ISQ value, we are recommended over 75